I thought they would just stick the lightsabers, but no, they had to make dark sabers and all sorts of other things.
Yes, Zach, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm on the radio.
Hey, you made it. You're on the radio now from 104. It's so great to talk to you. I mean, I love this movie. I'm so excited for part two already. But let's talk about how do you write something like this? Where does the idea, do you know what I mean? This is like epic. So does it tell me it takes you, because I know you're a bit of a genius. Does it take you at least a couple of months, a year? Do you know to write something like this?
Yeah, a little over a couple of months. Yeah, it takes a while because, like, when we started the process of writing Rebel Moon, we had to go back and write all the mythology for the mother world, all of their religion, their history. So we really had a lot of work to do, even just before we could even just write the story itself. So yeah, it takes a little bit of work, but it's fun. It's always fun to kind of create an entire universe. That's just crazy.
100%. And I think a lot of people are excited to watch this on Netflix. But originally, I believe you pitched this to Lucasfilm, because I know you're a big Star Wars fan and everything. So I was wondering, how influenced in your life by Star Wars are you? Do you know what I mean? How much influence went into this film?
Yeah, you know what? We didn't endeavor to put Star Wars references in the movie per se. But what we did was I said, listen, guys, we're gonna make this movie exactly the way we think is cool. And if there happens to be some sort of iconology crossover, I'm just gonna say this. Look, Star Wars, they cut a pretty wide swath in the sci-fi universe. They pretty much have every kind of sword possible. I thought they would just stick the lightsabers, but no, they had to make dark sabers and all sorts of other things. So it's been my experience that what we've done now with the Rebel Moon, though, is we've just tried to close ourselves off in a design world and just say, okay, these are the influences. I'm going to try and just make the coolest things I can think of, and let's just be aware, of how it's, of its origins, at least from an iconographic standpoint. But yeah, it is. Look, it's fun. Again, it's fun because I do love Star Wars, but we tried not to do it exactly the same.
Of course. And Justice League and Watchmen, they're also kind of ensemble cast hero type movies, right? So did all that experience with those movies help with this one?
Yeah, I can't help myself. Look at Watchmen, make a team. Well, by the way, 300, make a team.
Yeah.
Watchmen, make a team. Army of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, make a team. I can't help myself. I've lost my mind. I need to stop this. Make teams. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Are you a team player in real life then? Is it because you're like a team? Are you a basketball or in a general football?
Not really. I play pretty much individual sports. I don't know how this, but you know what? I think this iconology of like putting a team together and bringing a force together is just something I find intriguing. It must be.
Yeah. And was putting the cast together for this complicated? Because I assume when you're writing it, when you've written it yourself, you might have in mind people you definitely want to play this. And there's so many roles. Do you know that kind of way? Is it like a list you have to make of like, okay, this is the favor for this one, or how did you do it?
Yeah, a little bit like that. Like of going like, how do I people this with people that I want to work with, that I've worked with before, that I enjoy being around, because it's a big deal to make a movie. It's very intimate, and it's very time consuming. So it's always fun to be around your friends and around people that you respect and trust.
Yeah. And was it always going to be the two films? Do you know what I mean? And is there a luxury in that when you got the project signed off that like, okay, I've got the two movies to make this like a proper franchise, I suppose you could?
Correct. Well, I'd written a super long script, and we knew the only way to do it was to break it in half. And it really is a great format because you do get the opportunity to spend the time on movie one to really establish all the characters and get Cora's backstory and start to understand who she is. And then when you launch into two, you can really hit the ground running and just go for it.
And you spend so much time on this, obviously writing it, making it, and everything. Is that now a nervous time for you, or do you care what critics, people in the end think? Do you know what I mean? Or are you just like, this is done, I'm proud already?
I'm proud already. I think the work's incredible, but I'm really excited for just people to see it on Christmas, here at the holidays. If you're home with the family, to put on Rebel Moon and just enjoy it. You know,
It's amazing. It's a world now where you can do that. Do you know what I mean? That is going to be straight
yeah.
on Netflix. Anyway, listen, thank you so much for talking to us, Zach. Really appreciate it. Congrats on the film.
Oh, cheers. My honor.